Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Chuck. I'm with Ellisys. We're a Swiss-based company that makes protocol analysis tools for Bluetooth and some other stuff, for example, USB. We're a little different than I think a lot of the exhibitors here well, we're just different. We're kind of upstream. We're not a manufacturer per se of a wearable device. We make tools that ensure wearable devices work correctly. And I'll give you a little demo today. We've got a box here called a Bluetooth Explorer. This is a protocol analyzer. And just out of curiosity, how many folks here have used a protocol analyzer in the past? Okay, so we have some engineers here. This box here, we'll push a button, we'll listen to and see all of the low energy and basic classic Bluetooth in the room. So with that, there's a better picture of the box for those of you that can't see it. Up here on the front, we've got an antenna, and I've got a USB connection here to my PC that will allow me to upload the traffic that I do capture to our application. Okay, so we're a test and measurement company. We're a Swiss company. As I mentioned, we do Bluetooth and we do USB. Typical customers are the Googles, the Apples, the big tech guys, Intels, people like that, but also the mom and pop shops out there that are building, to a large extent, the low energy Bluetooth products that we're starting to see appear, and specifically the wearable technologies. The box here itself will handle, with one click, both basic rate, extended data rate, classic Bluetooth, as well as low energy. Also provides a raw spectrum view for coexistence testing for things like ensuring that your device works with LTE and Wi-Fi in the same area. Okay. So the capture architecture here, and this is how I'm set up right now, is just a simple USB connection to a controlling PC. As data is captured by the Explorer box, it's uploaded to a PC in real time. Okay. So the Bluetooth SIG, and the SIG is the special interest group. This is the nonprofit trade association that controls the specifications and promotes Bluetooth technology in general. Recently released a press release saying that there was phenomenal growth and high consumer demand for wearable technology. And this gets our interest, of course, being a company that makes our money selling developmental tools to people who build these things. Bluetooth Smart, in fact, is becoming the de facto connectivity solution. And we've heard Bluetooth mentioned quite a bit today. We've heard low energy mentioned quite a bit today. It's essentially the same thing. Low energy is Bluetooth. It's a derivative form of Bluetooth and ideal for wearable technology in general. ABI Research also came out and said, associated with this same press release, about 32 million devices will be sold in 2013 alone, wearable technology. And most of this is sports and fitness. We're seeing more medical type stuff come along as well. And they do expect to see very nice growth, I think on the order of 70% for watch and glass and some of the other segments to wearable technology. So I saw 5 or 6 hands raised when I asked who's used a protocol analyzer before, which is a bit heartening, actually. As I've sat back there in my little corner, I've had about 4 people stop by and about 0 that really knew what the heck we do. So, and I get that. Usually we give these kinds of presentations to a very specific audience, and this is a little more broad for us. But to give you an idea what a protocol analyzer does, number one, it's used by engineers. It's used for lots of different reasons. Debug is really a big one. When something doesn't work, you can't really tell with software or by looking at your device's application really what the problem may be, right? So sometimes you need to go with a little bit higher horsepower and employ a tool like this. So again, design and debug is a primary use case for these kinds of tools. Performance characterization, for example, how often when I send information from, let's say, a smart device to a smart ready device, is it getting there? Are there communication issues? Are there CRC issues? Are there quality issues? Is my device doing what I planned for it to do? And this will tell you quite quickly. And really that's the whole purpose of these tools, is to minimize development time, to save head scratching time, if you will, okay? And get to the root of the matter as quickly as possible, okay? Communications issues. A big issue with Bluetooth devices is how they play in the spectrum. Does Wi-Fi step on Bluetooth packets? Are there coexistence issues with other wireless technologies such as LTE? A microwave oven, believe it or not, can interfere with Bluetooth because they operate in the same spectrum. So anything that's wiggling or making energy in that general spectrum can be characterized with this tool. Protocols, profiles, these are the sort of the stacked layers, if you will, for Bluetooth. Your software guys will know what this means. This is also a key tool for writing software for low energy devices or Bluetooth devices in general. And of course, the box can also be used for automation at the manufacturing level or for other kinds of test automation at the engineering level. So here's what a typical output looks like. So when I click the record button on this guy here, it's going to give me some information. And that information, without going into the excruciating detail, will show you a chronology of events, typically by default at a very high layer. In other words, we're not looking at just packets. We're taking those packets and making some sense out of them. For example, at the very top of this capture might be a connection event, and then there may be some transfers of some sort of information. There may be errors involved, transmission errors or receiver signal strength type issues, lots of different timing issues, frequency issues. There's about 30 different ways you can look at a particular capture here, but the way you would typically look at it, or your engineers might typically look at it, would be in the way that is affecting them, adversely affecting them. You can see on the right side there's also a nice graphic showing a Bluetooth scatter net here. There's looks like 3 or 4 different piconets there communicating, sending traffic back and forth. And down on the bottom right, we can see some information on security. In this case, some of these connections have been decrypted by the protocol analyzer. And there's as well a timing view on the bottom left here. I'll go into that in just a touch more detail in just a moment. Okay, so let's take a look at just a typical capture. We'll do I think I've got a smartwatch here that was captured. And we'll take a fast look at that, and then we will look at our live capture. So we'll hit the record button. We'll see what's in the room. Once I hit the record, if you've got some wearable devices out there you'd like to connect, we'll see if they appear on your screen. Looks like the resolution's kind of blowing off a little bit. I apologize for that, but hopefully we can give you an idea. One of the key hallmarks with low energy, as opposed to normal classic Bluetooth, is its connection time is much quicker. Right? So with classic Bluetooth, we've all sat there for 15 minutes trying to get them to connect. You know, we know how that goes. With low energy, it's designed to be very fast. And in fact, you can see at the very top of the screen here, okay, we've got a connection event. It's a single line, but it's actually thousands of packets that are being exchanged back and forth in this case. And it says about 1.42 seconds there for the connection. So this is a very important key item for your end users out there. They want to click a button or whatever it is they need to do to connect and make that happen very quickly. And Bluetooth Low Energy is certainly well designed to support that. A little further down, we can see an encryption event here. This is where the devices decide on an encryption scheme that the traffic is protected. And below that, some attribute protocol. So there are some reads and writes. So being a watch, in this case, we go down a little bit further. We can see a notification here that tells the user you've got an email. And he is right about in there somewhere. Hopefully you guys can see that right there, right where the highlight is. So believe me, it takes about 2 hours to really to demo this protocol analyzer thoroughly, but hopefully you get a quick idea of what we're doing there. I've got 40 seconds. I'm going to hit a record button here, and let's just have some fun and see what's in the environment here. Okay. So we'll split the low energy side. Lots of Bluetooth devices here on the left, and you can see visually quite a few devices here. So these are all different piconets. The little dots there represent master and slave devices in the various piconets. I don't see, surprisingly, at a wearables conference here, a lot of low energy devices out there, but they are there. I've seen 15 or 20 throughout the day as I've been making captures out back there. So anyway, that was a quick look at what a protocol analyzer is. My time is up. I'm located back there in the corner. Feel free to stop by and chat if you'd like. Thank you.